content time. I didn't have any content. I want to keep fresh. I want to be a fresh content guy. 3 videos a week or whatever that is. So we asked Twitch for some questions. And all the best ones that weren't shit, I'm going to answer them right now. Number 1, do you think... Oh, they're all about drums, I think. And then what I'm going to do... That... I'm going to leave that as a sort of capitalism. Tyler, thanks for the sub. Now you're on YouTube. See if sometimes I get rid of that, and then I make less money. So we're just gonna leave it. See how annoying it will be. And then the comments will be, "You should have turned that off. I paid good nothing to YouTube." Do you think playing to a click is absolutely necessary? Yes. Not only for tightness, for being able to play in the studio, but if you need to have some kind of way of tracking your progress, let's say you've got a particularly hard drum bit. I don't know how you would ever demo songs really without a click in your recording software or whatever, but let's say you've got a really hard drum bit. You need to be able to know what tempo you can play it at and what tempo is the desired tempo that you need to learn it at, and then you can work in increments to get there. If you just fucking throw a BPM dart at a dartboard every time you sit down at the drums, if you've had 2 coffees that day, what you think is the right speed might actually be 10 BPM faster than you need it to be. So the click allows you to track, like progressively overload how you get better at the drums. And as well as that, you're going to have to, like, when you play in the studio, you're going to have to play with a click. And trust me, if you don't already play to a click, it's the hardest thing in the world to just fucking start doing what I need to do. Because these fucking cunts think they're clever. Yeah, I've just turned the sound off. You still pop up. Don't worry, you still pop up, but the sound's off. Right, you're not going to get me. Click question, done. Sounded like I said click question. Click questions, done. Live the rest of your life without one. Which would it be? Beer or coffee? I mean, that's not about drums, is it? Beer. I could easily do it. I've done it for at least 6 months at a time, maybe even 9 months once. But coffee, I just fucking love it and I need it. I enjoy it. It gives me a performance edge in the gym and at drums because it's a stimulant, yet it's allowed. Beer, I just love the way it tastes. I don't particularly, like, I'm not massive on, like, being wasted. Anyway. How good a player do you think someone can be solely learning from YouTube? Really, really, really good. There's drum teachers who will tell you, oh, you absolutely need someone there with you. And that's just because they want your money. It's like, they're like Big Pharma. They don't really want you to be better. They want you to buy the cure. It's the same with drum teachers. Everything I've ever learned, like a hobby, music production, fucking latte art, all that shit, just off YouTube. I'm sure you can do it with drums. As long as you're, like, really dedicated and you at least get a nudge in the right direction of what videos, then I'm sure you can do it. I read some article once. I know, me, reading. It was on the internet. I was on the toilet. About how they think there's, like, an advanced, like, human evolution happening because you can go on the internet and you can, if you're willing, you can find whoever is the best person in the world at anything, because they'll be on YouTube, and then you can emulate them, or you can learn from them. You can learn from the best in the world at most things, which means everyone, normally, like music production, I learned absolutely all of that off YouTube. In the fucking 80s, that would either have had to been from like some expensive Berkeley fucking scholarship, or an unpaid apprenticeship, or some old studio legend, and that was reserved for fucking maybe 0.5% of the people who wanted it. Whereas now you can just type in, which is what I did, how do I make a snare sound good? Bang, pops up, learn it. Just got to be hungry for it. What else have I learned off YouTube? Don't know, loads of shit. Pretty sure even when I was a kid, before YouTube, I'm old, there was like other shit that I just learned from the internet. Just cool shit. You can learn anything. Have you ever turned down joining a band and regretted it? No. I've done the opposite. I've joined a band and then, no. I've been asked to join bands where other people have said that's, you should do that band. And it's just smelt wrong. Always go for a meeting. I went for a meeting with one band once. Not going to tell you who it is. Quite like one of the guys from it. Went for a meeting. Sat down. Immediately, the other guy, who was the guitarist, he had real big private schoolboy vibes, which is fine, I guess, but real big, like, entitled, basically gifted this opportunity. They were on a big label, but they were fucking not very good. And he opened, and this guy was younger than me as well. He opened with, it was pre-Heart Machine, post Vitrophy. And he was like, you know what? I can see your name in lights. That's what he said. That's what he opened it up with. I can see your name in lights. This person was younger than me, had never toured in a band before. And immediately I was like, no. But then they kept going on. They were telling me about how much they spent on their album. And it was like 100 grand with some big producer. And they went in with 0 songs to the studio. So they spent 100 grand in the studio with a producer writing it all for them. And then what I did, it was a train wreck. I said afterwards, because I was doing nothing, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it, but I'll do it for, I think I said like £1,300 a month retainer, because I knew they had some money. And they said, yeah. And then I still turned it down because it was just not for me. And then they got one of my drum students to drum for them instead. And then when I left the Heart Machine, they asked me to join. And then I was like, well, you've still got this guy, and he's one of my drum students. And they said, yeah, we'll kick him out. I was like, nah, not for me. Where are they now? Nowhere. As I say, one of them, really nice guy.